Well, hello there once again in Colour Passion Land. Thank you for joining our channel. I'm Kim Gow from Colour Passion. I did do a pour a couple of days back and I haven't put it up because I'm just not happy with it. So what I've done is I have sanded the board lightly. I have taped it because the first one I didn't tape and I just felt everything stretched too much. So we're going to redo that again today, and you can see not everybody is happy with their pours. So what do you do about it? Well, you just pour right over it and create something hopefully really, really lovely. So today's colours we're going to use is the Bronze Passion, because I don't think we've done anything like that before. I've done lots of darks on the bottom and then I've added lighter colours on the top. This time we're going to go lighter on the bottom, darker on the top. I thought just for a change and just see how that goes. Hopefully better than the one I did a couple of days ago. But anyway, here we go. So we're going to be using the Bronze Passion. We're going to have a bit of Top Cell White. We're going to have some Skim Milk, which is one of my all-time favourites now. Love it. We're going to have Ebony Luster, which is like the black, but it's got a shimmer to it. So we're going to have that over the top. And I actually thought I might even put some gold in the actual Bronze Passion, just to give it a little bit of sparkle when the light hits it. I thought that might be quite nice. There is already, obviously it's a metallic, so there's already a sheen to it, but I just wanted to add to it, just something a little bit different that I thought of. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's go and see how this turns out, and hopefully it will be better than the last time. Fingers crossed. Okay, everybody, here we are. I've got the other gimbal set up, so hopefully you'll be able to see everything. You can see I've got the tape around the outside. The reason for that is so that we can create a dam, and when nice things happen on the top, they don't all sort of pull over the side. It's always really important as well to check your level, so both ways. I've done that. I've popped a couple of stirring sticks, pop sticks underneath, my little cups underneath, just to make sure that it's hopefully level. I've mixed my resin. Now today we're using the Fast Cure resin, the Colour Passion Fast Cure resin. I love this resin. Now it is on special September this month. It's on sale, 25% off. So do yourself a favour and get some. It's 25% off on the 2 litre size or the 10 litre size. So I use the big 10 litre because I go through so much, but it'll last you for quite some time. It's brilliant because it does, if you work faster, obviously it's going to be better for you. I don't find, I mean, I've got plenty of time really to work with it, and you know, but it does cure faster. So I like the Ultimate as well, but and that's very, very popular. But this one, myself personally, is my favourite, so I love it. However, okay, so I've mixed it for 3 minutes, and I've just realised that this container, I'm going to have to pour it out, hurry. It's got actually a crack up the side. So when I pulled it out last time, it must have cracked it. There you go. All right. Anyway, I've mixed 50% A, 50% B, of, as I said, the Fast Cure Art resin. So now what I'm going to do is pop it into the cups and I will mix. So we've got our colours. I'll go up to maybe around 400, we'll see. And then I can always pour some more out. I'm just going to have a little bit of white, a little bit of skim, and a little bit of Ebony Luster. I really don't want a lot because you can see the shape here, it just spread, and that is not what I wanted. I'm going to leave a little bit in there because I may well come back and, you know, use some more of it. All right, so here we are. We've got our beautiful Bronze Passion. Now, it is a gorgeous metallic on its own, but as I said, I just wanted to have some sparkle, and I'll share in a moment. I changed my mind a little bit on which sparkle. So always stir your pastes and make sure that they're well and truly mixed before you pop them into your mixed resin. And I always mix my resin. I put my timer on for 3 minutes. All right, we're doing quite a big area here, so normally I would average about, I guess, one teaspoon for 250 ml. So that would be, 1 teaspoon per cup, basically. So, and I've with this one here, I'm just going to put another scoop in because it's really just covering the top of my spatula. So I'm putting that in. I'm just going to give that a good mix. And I was thinking I was going to put the Super Gold Sparkle in for a bit of sparkle, but I thought, you know what? The Flambe Sparkle is really more or less this colour. I thought, well, really, that's probably a really good one to put in. It'll go everywhere, so I'll just have to be a bit careful. But I love this. It is so, so pretty. Flambe Sparkle, and it is available in the small size of 25 gram and the large size. I'm going to put in a nice dollop because I really want this to be pretty, pretty, pretty. So we can load it up because it's not going to interfere with the amount of resin. Now, with paste, it's a different story. You only need that 5 to 10%. Our pastes are made, I can see all these little fine sparkles floating through. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. The pastes, you only need 5 to 10% of the amount of resin that you're mixing it into. With a larger amount, you'd be fine. But with a smaller amount, you can overdo it and you can get, it just goes off. It goes hot, steamy, bubbly, you've ruined it. It just snap freezes, as in cures. And it's quite dangerous. So you've got to be a bit careful. Do not overload it. The Colour Passion pigments are heavily loaded with colour. You don't need a lot. That's why it's better to use professional products that are meant to go into resin as opposed to using, let's say, acrylic, because you would need more of the acrylic to get your depth of colour, if you follow me. So it's better to use the proper products. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I keep thinking, oh, should I put a little bit more in? Because I can, because it's quite a big cup. But maybe that will overdo it, so we won't. All right, Passion Top Cell White. We're just going to make up a little bit of that. Again, I'm just going to stir my pot. This one's quite stiff because I use all the big pots usually, and this was sitting there, so I just grabbed that, but it's been sitting for quite some time, so we only need a small amount, like I said. You just got to be aware that's really just coating the stick to make sure that it's mixed up properly into that resin. We don't want solid bits of paste because it will never cure. And it'll sort of be on the surface, and every time you wipe it, if it was the white, you'd get a white mark on your cloth every time you went over it. You don't want that. You want to make sure that your work is mixed properly, and it is something that, look, it's only 3 minutes of mixing the resin and then making sure that this is well and truly mixed into the resin. It's not a big ask, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. You just do it and make sure, because that really can affect on how your beautiful pour turns out, and we want you to have success. All right, now our skim milk. Now the skim milk, again, it's quite liquid. It's not a thick paste at all, but it is gorgeous. And if you've been watching before, you'll see that there's been a number I've done using this, and I really, really love it. It's just gorgeous. I just want just a little bit, a tint of white, if you like. Exactly like a skim milk as opposed to a whole cream milk. So we just want it so that it is like that. I'm just going to see that. It's amazing how you don't need very much at all. I could almost put a little bit more clear in that. It's probably okay, but you know what, I've got it here, so I'm just going to pop just a little bit more in, just because I've got it there. And I do just want it so that it's really just transparent almost. Yeah, I think that's great. All right, and now we've got our Ebony Luster, which is a gorgeous colour. And again, it's really important to mix up your paste before you use it. Again, we don't need a lot. That 5 to 10% is all we need. And honestly, if you've got any questions at any time, please just pop them down in the comments below and I will always respond and answer your queries, your questions, your wants. Now I'm going to I'm going to check the temperature of this, because the other thing I found that works much better with doing this particular technique is to have it so that the temperature of the resin is over 30 when we pour it. What have we got here? Doesn't want to tell me. Oh, 30.3, there you go. I'm still going to leave it just a little bit longer. That's 29, 29, and 29. I'm just going to let that sit a little bit, maybe for a couple of minutes, because I know that, especially for lacing in particular, it's really good to let it just sit for a bit. This is going to be pretty. Okay. So I've just got to keep an eye on that temperature. So that's all saying about the same. All right, rather than hold you, I'm just going to pop the camera off for a couple of minutes and then I promise I shall come back. Okay, here we are back again. That was probably about 5 minutes, I suppose. It's now registering over 32. Yep, 32.1. The others should be a little lower, but anyway, we'll see how we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pour this gorgeous concoction. Tell you what, that Flambe Sparkle, what a great idea it was to put that in here. If I do say so myself. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's hitting all the sparkle with the lamps. It's just beautiful. All right, so now we're going to pour it over or get it to cover the board. So I'm just going to do it with my hands because I actually do enjoy doing it this way. But you can use a spatula. I'm just going to get it out to the tape to make sure that it's there, it will run over. When we remove that tape, we want it not to pour over, we want it to just gently ooze over. Just doing it with one hand because then I'll actually take this glove off and I'll get a fresh glove, just so there's no contamination and it just makes life a bit easier for me. I'm telling you guys, this is a gorgeous colour. Beautiful. And with a little bit of sparkle in it, it's just stunning. I can imagine the sunlight hitting this and all the sparkle doing beautiful things for us. So tomorrow, I don't know, it may be sunny tomorrow, but just depends on the time of the day that I can do the reveal. So we'll see how we go. Because I have another commitment on Fridays. Just making sure it's all around the tape. Just want to make sure that that wasn't a bit there. It is very therapeutic doing this. Even though there are sad things happening in the world, while we're caught up in our beautiful world of resin and working with it like this, you know, you can just take a break from it. That's what I love about resin. And I love the colours, the depth, the gloss. Love it all. All right, there we go. I'm just swirling it around because I'll probably all lose that swirl anyway. But I do like, I wish the swirls would just remain. But I think by the time we, you know, put heat on it and everything, we'll probably lose most of it. But anyway, it's just something that it does. All right, so I think we've got it all up to the tape so that when we remove that tape, it should just gently ooze off. Okay, that's my plan. All right, I'm just going to pop that one in the bin and put on a fresh glove, and then off we go. So I'm thinking I'm just going to run over the top here with the heat gun. Hope it's not going to be too noisy for you. Just to burst any surface bubbles there. Mind you, we're going to be using our amazing new product, which of course I keep forgetting about, called Fusion Relax. Guys, if you haven't tried this, please do. I'll use it on this anyway and you'll see. But what it does is it just completely removes all the bubbles, and so the top becomes like glass. Amazing. We are the Australian importers of this product from America. So there we go. All right, so we've got this. I just want to see how the temperature's going with these before we proceed any further. Come on. I think the battery on this must be getting low. It's 33.6. I probably would like it a little bit warmer. So you know what? I'm just sorry to do this. I'm just going to put you on hold again, and I'll come back to you. I want to make sure that it's really up around that 36, 37 mark. Okay, here we are back again. I've waited about 10 minutes and it's still giving me plenty of time to work with this. It's only now, a moment ago when I checked it was 35.6, so 35, so yeah, we're getting to that, maybe that mid 30. So look, we'll give it a go. Okay, so we're going to start off with some lovely skim milk. I don't want this to be big, so I'm just going to, I think, just sort of really more in the centre. I think that is fine. And I do like the skim milk, it's great. Then I'll put some white on. You'll see the difference when I do the white with the skim milk. See that? It's quite different, isn't it? There. Then we're going to pour some Ebony Luster over. And again, I really don't want too much. I sort of want it more to the outside so I can, you know, blow it to the outside and see what happens. Okay, that's it. All right, now I don't want, I've got a bit of skim milk there and I don't want it there. So we just fix him up. Okay, I don't want to muck it up. It should be okay. I'll hit it with a heat gun. All right, so now we're just going to, I'm just going to run over the whole area just to heat it slightly first. Then I'm going to start in the middle. Kind of just pushing it out a bit. And we'll just wait a tick and see how it goes, because this is the beauty of this technique. You know, it comes up and it laces beautifully. And when we take the tape off, I mean, it is going to still stretch it out a little bit, which I think is fine. It's always hard because I always feel like I want to put a little bit more on, but of course then you end up, you put some more, and then you overdo it. And I really don't want to overdo it. But rather than just have a ball in the middle, I think I would like it a little bit sort of stretched out a little bit more. So I might just put a small amount here, maybe a small amount here. And then what I'll do is I'll blow them out each way and see what happens. And back this way. I don't want it all black, so I'm just pushing that up just a little bit there to push it into it. Okay, and it's interesting how the little lacing, the little cells have popped up in both of those ends as well. So I think that's probably a good way to leave it. I'm just going to run around again with the heat gun around the edge. The sparkle is so pretty. All right, there we go. I think we're just going to leave it at that because I don't want to keep playing with it because it will do its own thing anyway. Let's come back in about 15-20 minutes. We'll take the tape off and then we'll see where we're at with things then. It's always exciting through the process. Okay, here we are back again. So now it's been 15 minutes. So actually I'm just going to close this door. Sorry, I've got the volume coming from a television. We don't need that. Okay, so we're going to just pull that out the road. We're going to remove the tape. And as I said, I'm wanting it to just ooze over, not flood over. Round we go. Okay. So now what I do is with my fingers, those two fingers there, I'm just going to glide along to make sure that it's covered with resin. Generally I'll concentrate on that bottom part because I know the top part then will run over it. Just gives it something to adhere to. Okay, great. Feels good. Generally, after a while, I mean, you can go and have a look at it, obviously. I just know by the feel that it's got it all. Just checking. That should be fine. So that will continue to ooze off for a little bit. And this has, the cells have opened up there, which I think is quite lovely. There's always little interesting things happening. So what I'm going to do, I thought, I actually started to just pull a couple of things there because I thought it might be quite interesting to sort of, to me this is like a spacey sort of thing, and maybe we could, you know, well, some of them have happened by themselves, but if we just sort of pull it out a little bit, just to leave hopefully some sort of indentations, if you like. I mean, they'll flatten out, but it's just, this gives it something a little bit different to look at. These will obviously close up a bit, but it's nice just to have something a little different. It's like a nebula. Did those couple of little ones before, and you can see them, they're like sort of a shadow. But, you know, I don't sort of mind it. And of course, once we hit it with the heat gun, it's going to soften it anyway. So probably looks a little odd at the moment, but don't despair. It should be interesting to test to see how hot these are now. It's a matter of interest. Come on. I'm still only around the 34. So it's interesting. You can work with these, obviously, for quite some time. It's about 34.5. Okay, so we're just going to just gently hit this, maybe from a distance even. So I do not want these big gaping lines, and I know that they will shrink up a bit. The sparkles are really lovely. Just sort of just gently pushing it out. Just to see really, I suppose, what sort of an effect we get. I mean, if at this point, if I was unhappy with that, I could come around and run over it with my fingers or spatula or whatever. But my thoughts are that this will shrink anyhow, and it'll just sort of look, yeah, it'll be okay. So I'm feeling quite happy with it, because it is something it's quite different. Okay. Interesting. All right, so here is the magic. We're going to use our beautiful Fusion product. Just giving it a nice shape. Okay. Now I'm just going to lightly spray over. That's it. Just over there, back again, and that's it. I don't want to keep going over and over. You don't need that much. Just to make sure that it's come in contact. And I can tell you, it's turned into like glass. Quite amazing what happens. I'll tell you what, these sparkles are beautiful. I can see them through the middle here. Wow, lovely. All right, guys, well, we'll see if these lines have worked in our favour or not in the reveal. So we'll let that cure overnight, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm sorry for that light, by the way. It's a bit awkward in this angle because, yep, that's all we can do. The light that is there. Sorry about that. Well, hello there, everybody. Here we are for our reveal. Here we go. I have left the strokes in that I put in, but what I did do, you can see here around the edge, I actually waited until it was sort of almost at gel point. Then I got the the heat gun, and then I just blew it, and it sort of held those kind of marks. I mean, that's flat when you feel it, but it just pushes it, and I just left it and hold it, and I thought that really made this a bit more of an interesting piece. Let me know what you think. Anyway, okay, here we go. The sparkle is just gorgeous. I don't know that you can even see it in this light. It's quite cloudy today, very cloudy in fact, but you can see some sparkles there. It's really made it just super duper pretty. Hasn't altered the colour, but it's made it very pretty. So we've got some lovely lacing up the top there, and we've got a bit of our, obviously the top cell white, as well as the skim milk doing its magic underneath. and some more gorgeous lacing down here. Let me know what you think of this combination. I think the white actually really makes it, just having that little bit there, but not a lot. And this board's probably 60 centimetres by 60 centimetres. So I'm very happy with it. In the end, I think it's turned out really lovely. Something a little unusual. I think I'm going to call it nebula because it reminds me of a nebula, really, in that way. So, yeah, there we go. So we've got light with a sparkle, and then on the top we've got some dark, which I think is a really interesting combo, just to show what it can do. And as you saw, this area here, I didn't move it much at all, and I added in those two end bits there and just pushed that with the heat gun, and that's laced beautifully. And the reason why it has is because obviously that was left sitting a little bit longer. So that's the secret, letting it sit. And I probably would have let that sit once the bottom was done for a good 20 minutes, I'd say. You've got plenty of time to work with this fast cure, so I think it's fabulous. And remember, as I said, for the month of September at least, it's 25% off for the 2 litre size kits and the 10 litre, and I can well and truly recommend it to you. So there we go. All right, everybody, look, I hope you've had a wonderful week. I know I've been a little bit MIA. I've been away on a fantastic art trip, which was wonderful at Norfolk Island. And since then, I've had all sorts of things I've had to deal with. So I was a little bit late in getting this one out. Well, of course, I did one the other day, but I wasn't happy with it. So anyway, I'm happy with this one. I hope you agree. And I'll get to it and create something else for you. Let me know your thoughts if you'd like anything in particular. And remember, if you don't give it a go, you'll never know. So what are you waiting for, guys? Look, just take a leap, give it a go, and you will be surprised. And please feel very free to pop it on our Facebook group. Would love to see it. Okay, have a great week. Bye for now.